Explore a fascinating journey through the realm of law enforcement as we delve into the peculiar and unexpected circumstances that have led to individuals being placed under arrest. From the bizarre to the downright surreal, join us as we uncover the top 10 strangest reasons people have found themselves on the wrong side of the law. But before we delve into our list, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our latest uploads. All right, let's get started. Number 1. If you reside in Florida, it's advisable not to spit on the ground while a police officer is conducting a pat-down search. Surprisingly, such an act can result in a brief stint behind bars. One Florida resident found himself in this predicament while walking around his neighborhood at 2 in the morning. A police officer, noticing the man's presence and growing suspicious of the contents of his pockets, approached him and requested to conduct a search. Despite the man's refusal, the officer proceeded with the search regardless. During the pat-down, the man, who had chewing tobacco in his mouth, spat it out without the officer's consent. Enraged by this act, the officer promptly arrested the man on the spot. Subsequently, the man was released on $100 bail. Both the officer involved in the incident and another officer who arrived later faced disciplinary action for the unauthorized pat-down. Number 2. In the year 2019, in Lake County, Florida, a homeless woman found herself in a troubling predicament. She was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct following an incident where she was accused of engaging in what was described as dancing in a vulgar manner in front of a school bus that was teeming with children. According to the arresting officer, she was not only dancing provocatively, but also hurling profanities at the occupants of the bus, further exacerbating the situation. Upon her arrest, the woman was taken into custody and subsequently detained in jail. However, after posting a bail amount of $250, she was able to secure her release. Nonetheless, the incident left a lasting mark, raising questions about public decorum and the appropriate response to perceived disruptions in a community setting. Number 3. New Mexico. Police enforce strict measures against littering, even in cases as seemingly minor as discarding a finished cigarette on the ground. A police officer observed a 31-year-old man committing this act and promptly arrested him for littering. Subsequently, the man was presented with the option to post bail and secure his release by agreeing to undergo treatment at a mental health facility. However, he declined this offer, opting instead to remain in jail for nearly a week before eventually securing his release through bail. It appears that the Albuquerque Police Department made numerous littering-related arrests in the year 2018. Number 4. There are cops who do take jaywalking seriously. In 2019, an incident in Oregon exemplified this when a man ran across a busy street without using a crosswalk, prompting a police officer to intervene. The officer chased and confronted the man, ultimately arresting him after throwing him to the ground. Although the man spent only 30 minutes in jail before being issued a jaywalking ticket and released, he later filed a lawsuit, alleging a violation of his civil rights by the officer. Number 5. It's quite astonishing, isn't it? In certain areas, rainwater isn't considered free for the taking, and the consequences for collecting it can be unexpectedly severe. Take the case of a man from Oregon, for example. He found himself in hot water when he was handed a 30-day jail sentence simply for gathering rainwater in barrels on his property. Now, why was he collecting rainwater, you might wonder? Well, it turns out he was using these barrels to combat wildfires, a frequent occurrence in his region. Yet, despite his noble intentions and the practical purpose of his rainwater collection, the state of Oregon deemed his barrels illegal reservoirs. This ruling led to his incarceration, all because he refused to cease his efforts to collect rainwater. What's particularly baffling is that this individual had actually attempted to do things by the book. He applied for permits for his rainwater collection setup, hoping to legitimize his actions. Unfortunately, his requests were flatly denied by the authorities. Despite this setback, he remained steadfast in his commitment to his cause, even as he served his time behind bars. Number 6. During a routine traffic stop, a woman and a man were detained after police officers spotted what seemed to be 2 bars of cocaine. The woman claimed they were homemade soap, but field tests yielded positive results for cocaine. Consequently, the pair spent a month in jail as they were unable to post bail. However, once lab test results revealed no presence of illegal substances on the bars, likely due to their actual composition as soap, the charges against them were dropped. Number 7. In a surprising turn of events, a North Carolina man discovered the limitations of free speech. When he uttered an expletive in public, he caught the attention of a local police officer who promptly arrested him for the offense. Although initially released without bond, the man faced a different fate at his court appearance, where the judge sentenced him to 10 days in jail. However, showing a measure of leniency, the judge allowed him to serve his sentence under house arrest, albeit with electronic monitoring. Number 8. A woman was arrested for drunk driving and colliding with a vehicle, but the real surprise came when she took to Facebook to jokingly share her experience with a status update, admitting her arrest for driving under the influence. However, matters took a serious turn when a judge became aware of the Facebook post and instructed her to delete her account. Upon her refusal to comply with the judge's order, she was subsequently sentenced to 2 days in jail for her failure to delete her Facebook account. Number 9. In 2013, a New York City police officer, seemingly influenced by the television show Breaking Bad, apprehended 3 men on charges of drug possession after discovering crystalline rocks of solid material in their possession. Despite one of the men asserting that the items were Jolly Ranchers still in their wrappers, the officer suspected they might be methamphetamine. Subsequently, a field test reportedly confirmed the officer's suspicions, leading to the trio's incarceration for 24 hours. However, upon subsequent laboratory analysis yielding negative results, the suspects were released. Following this ordeal, the 3 individuals initiated a lawsuit against the NYPD, ultimately receiving a $33,000 settlement. Number 10. During a regular traffic stop, a woman was pulled over and officers discovered a spoon wrapped in a plastic bag with an unknown substance on it. After a field test showed it to be methamphetamine, the woman claimed it was just residue from SpaghettiOs she had been eating and that she borrowed the spoon from a friend. Despite her explanation, she was arrested and spent 2 weeks in jail before being released. However, she was later incarcerated again until lab results confirmed the substance was indeed SpaghettiOs. This incident highlights the potential flaws in relying solely on field tests conducted by law enforcement. Hope you liked the video. Suggestions are welcomed in the comment box.